Testing. Wow, that was stupid. Okay, well, that was weird. But you guys can hear me now. Okay, so it's working now. That was crazy weird. Here, let me try a few things. Let me switch to the work and make sure that it's working. Yeah, it's working now. I don't know why it was so. That's crazy. It should have done that. That is wild. Testing. Testing. Okay. Okay. It's not I don't know what happened there. But sometimes OBS be tripping. I'm starting to wonder maybe if I need to swap off of OBS and go back to vMix, because OBS it'll trip sometimes, especially when I have so many inputs. I don't think it really likes that, having so many inputs at once and being able to swap between them. Like if I swap to the PS5 or Steam or Battle.net or something like that, I don't think it's very happy about it. And why does it think I'm louder than I should be? I'm not that loud. Okay, I'll just come down one. Okay, that's better. Yeah, it's just a little iffy. It's like sometimes it's good and OBS is good and solid and you think everything is fine, and then other times it's not fine. So, okay, whatever. We'll just go ahead and get started then. I hope everybody had a good day at work, and yeah, let's get to helping people. Let's see if we can do something. So let's get to work here. Alrighty, so we'll just go ahead and start with the beginning. There are a few repeats of things that I probably broke yesterday while I was half asleep, but we'll get to them when we get to them. Alrighty, just making sure my mic is good and it's not breaking again. Okay, no, I think I'm good. Alrighty, so this one's from Senior Waffle 1508. Senior Waffle writes, I need help with figuring out my new phone. Okay, so I was gifted a Pixel 7 and currently I have an iPhone 11. I originally just used a cord to transfer data from my iPhone to the Google phone, but for some reason I ran into an issue with texting people that have iPhones. What happens is that I can text the people, but I can't see the responses on the Google phone. But I can see the responses on my iPhone, but not my text. I used Google and it says turn off iMessages and FaceTime in iPhone settings. I comply and no changes happen. I decided to factory reset the iPhone because I was reading something about how the phone number is still associated with the iPhone. So I thought that would solve it. I made a backup. No, it didn't solve it. So I just downloaded the backup. I tried to factory reset the Google phone, but it turns out the phone number is connected still to the Google phone by Verizon. I'm an idiot. And on top of all that, now when I use my iPhone to call people, they have Android phones. It says, welcome to Verizon Wireless. Your call cannot be completed as dialed. Please check the number and dial your call again. And when I try to text them, the phone says this message cannot be delivered. How can I get through this mess? It was an incredibly thoughtful gift and it's becoming a migraine with just being able to contact people. I think you already answered your question, bro. So for this one, I think you may have answered your question. It appears that the Ford may have stayed with the iPhone, but the return is with the new phone. You would need to contact the ISP to have them fix it for you. Or did they say everything was good? Was good when you spoke with them? Yeah, or vice versa. Return this with the new phone. It appears that the before may have stayed with, or vice versa. Okay, we learned this. Like, I didn't know this before, but we learned this by doing exactly this. We had somebody in one of the chats, they had mentioned that the way it works is there's a forwarding and a return, and it could be that they moved over the forward and kept the return. So basically, both phones are kind of associated with the same number, but not really truly associated because you don't have all the features. It's still whatever number it went to that number. It's just that some of the features aren't working because it's still kind of associated with that other phone. It happens when you don't pay your bill, or if you do pay your bill but you don't get the number transferred properly. So with this one here, there's not a lot that anyone can do. You may have to just speak with the ISP and just make sure that the number has been fully transferred over, and then whatever they say, then we can go ahead and troubleshoot it. But we have to go with them first, because without that, we don't know if this issue is related to the actual internet service provider, or if it's just a regular phone issue. So there's no point in troubleshooting. You got to call Verizon. And even he says it, that, you know, he was having some issues with Verizon. So whoever his original ISP is, he's going to have to get in contact with them. Well, not really ISP. What is it? Telephone provider? Cell phone provider? Yeah, whoever that guy is, you got to get in contact with him. Alrighty, so hope that helps, Senior Waffle. All right, let's go ahead and go to the next one. Alrighty, and this is from Edgemaster D. Edgemaster writes, mouse problems. Good evening, guys. I'm recently having a problem with my laptop after a niece of mine played with it. The mouse and keyboard stopped functioning after the Windows start. It's not a driver's problem because it works fine in safe mode. What can be done for the problem? Mouse problems. Good evening. I'm recently having a problem with my laptop after a niece of mine played with it. The mouse and keyboard stopped functioning after a while, after the Windows start. It's not a driver's problem because it works fine in safe mode. What can be the problem? It works fine in safe mode, but it doesn't work in Windows. And it's a mouse and keyboard on the laptop, but it's fine in... Going to start Device Manager and seeing if the keyboard and mouse show up there. If they do, then make sure they are up to date and do not have a error on them. If they do not show, then it appears the devices may be having issues with connectivity. Well, how can it be connectivity if it works in safe mode? No, if it works in safe mode just fine, then you can't call it a hardware issue because it does work. It just doesn't work in Windows. If it does not, if they do not show, I don't even know what to say to that. If they don't show, okay. So let me, okay. So if you have mouse problems, right? Mouse and keyboard problems, but it's in Windows, but whenever you're in safe mode, it's perfectly fine. Then one would think drivers are software. But if you go to Device Manager and the keyboard and mouse is not there, how can you still call that software? At that point, it would be hardware, because we're talking about keyboard and mouse on a laptop. But you can't say it's hardware because it works in safe mode. So it's like, it's a catch-22. You can't say it's hardware because it works in safe mode, and you can't say it's software if it's not in Device Manager. Okay, so we'll just leave it at that, because you can't really say that. If they do, then make sure they are up to date and do not have an error on them. I would start with going to start. Yeah, we'll go with that. Device Manager it, bro. Like, if you go to Windows, or if you have a keyboard and a mouse and it's not showing up in Windows, but it is in safe mode, then go to Device Manager and make sure that they show there. And that will be the best way to start on that one, because it all depends on what it shows in Device Manager. If their keyboard and mouse is not there and it literally skips over them, or they're not seen there, then you may really have a problem with your keyboard and mouse, in which case you may need to update your BIOS or something like that. Or if there's like drivers for your keyboard and mouse, you may have to update them or something along those lines, is the first thing that I would think of. But yes, it seems more software related if it works in safe mode. But we'll see. Sup, man? How does he check device manager if they don't function? Oh, well, he was saying, I'm recently having a problem with my laptop after a niece of mine played with it. The mouse and keyboard stopped functioning after Windows Start. It's not a driver's problem because it works fine in safe mode. Okay, taking what you just said, how did he get to safe mode? So I'm guessing, because he wouldn't be able to turn it off because the keyboard doesn't work. So maybe he unplugged the battery in order to get to safe mode, but it won't take you to safe mode immediately, right? So he would have to have powered it on 3 times, or it may have worked when it was booting or something along those lines. So that's why I was like, maybe he has a way to get into device manager, or maybe he has another keyboard running around. But let's play this then. If he doesn't have a keyboard, we'll do it this way. If you don't, because we don't really know how he got to safe mode in the first place. If you don't have a keyboard, that's what I was assuming, that he had a keyboard because he got to safe mode. If you don't have a keyboard, then just check the drivers in safe mode. LOL. Check the drivers from device manager in safe mode. Yeah, just do it that way. Either way, you just need to get device manager. So I was thinking that he maybe had like a keyboard or mouse or a spare mouse or something like that, and that's how he knew. This support question is confusing. It is, because I was like, my mind was like, okay, well, he was able to get to safe mode, so he did something, right? Because you know how hard it is to get to safe mode without a keyboard and mouse? You know, like, because you would have to press power like 3 or 4 times, and then sometimes it'll take and sometimes it won't. And there's nothing really wrong with this, so it will still boot to Windows, but you got to stop it, but you can't stop it because you can't press anything on the keyboard. So it's like, okay, well, how the hell do you get to safe mode? So it's like, I don't know. It was just kind of a weird one. So I was like, okay, well, he got to safe mode at some point, so he must have did something. He had to have done something to get to safe mode. And on top of that, if it's a Windows 10 or 11, getting to safe mode is really hard. So I'm thinking that he had to do something to get to safe mode. So I was like, so he probably has a keyboard and mouse running around. But if he doesn't, then do this. Either way, he knows how to get to safe mode. So even there, you can probably see it from device manager. So we just need more information. So Edge Master D, yeah, just wanna, we need some more information, bro. I think you may have a keyboard and mouse running around you're not telling us about. Alrighty. Oh God. Oh, here we go with folded meat again. Okay, let me get ready. All right, folded meat. Okay. This man is notorious. We've been working on this issue for a week. He has 32 comments, so apparently nobody still fixed his issue. Alrighty, so let's go back let's update everybody on what happened with between us and folded meat. I was not sleepy when I first worked this issue, so I was definitely in the right state of mind. He was having issues with his frame rate dipping between 10 and 20 FPS. And I was trying to troubleshoot his issue. Whilst troubleshooting his issue, I broke my entire stream. Trying to help him with his issue, I broke my stream. So all graphics on low or default. Yeah. So he's tried that with all of his graphics on low, and he still has 10 and 20 FPS. So I gave him a couple of really good ideas. So when my stream died, or I guess it didn't really die, it just muted. When my stream muted, what I was doing was I was going to Call of Duty and I was turning on all telemetry, right? In order to see what they were, because I couldn't remember what they were on the top of my head. There was one that had network latency and packet loss. So I was like, okay, cool. When your frame rate drops, do you have high latency or do you have high packet loss? Because maybe we're chasing the wrong dragon, right? We could be chasing frame rate and graphics when it's really a networking latency issue. And if it was a networking latency issue, it will present itself as, you know, you're dropping packets. And you would think that it's a frame rate issue when really it's just latency. Because remember, his issue started with multiplayer. He doesn't have this problem with single player at all. It's always been with multiplayer. So I was like, okay, cool. If you're having this issue with multiplayer, maybe we're talking about network connectivity, which is why I asked him about it. So this was me just probing, and also post latency and drop frame rates once I figured out that you can actually see that in Call of Duty. And so he basically said he had it capped, but he did a test of game and it runs well, 40 to 70 FPS, but it's very choppy. And I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, leave everything uncapped, including the menu. Is VSync on? That would explain the choppiness. What about network latency and packet drops? Were they good as well? 40 to 70 is the right range for your GPU in most scenarios, which is absolutely correct. On a, what does he have? it was like a 2060. Yeah, he has a 2060. So a 2060 in COD, regardless, like I'm guessing his resolution is like 2K or something along those lines. Then yes, that's pretty normal. And he said VSync is disabled on all fronts. During my testing, there were no latency or packet drops during the games, though every time I looked at the enemy, the game became choppy. But he said he had no latency or packet drops. Huh? Okay, so he has no latency and no packet drops, but as soon as other text or other fields, polygons really, enter his peripheral, that's when he has a problem. But if that was the case, then he would have this problem on single player, but he doesn't. So it's just, let me see what everybody else has asked, because he's probably answered them too. Go to settings and turn on multi-threading. What do they have to say about the 48 gigs of RAM? Overkill, probably. That's right. We thought about that too. He was like, man, that's a lot of fucking RAM. Go to settings file for it and turn on multi-threading. Could you tell me where I could turn on this setting? And yeah, it was a whole multi-threading thing. And he ran scan now, but it doesn't work. I'll probably have to reinstall Windows, which I really don't want to do. Okay. And what is this? This was folding meat. And then all these people are talking. Oh, okay. Folding meat is the one with the fro. Okay, cool. Is this CST or CSB? I found them under Call of Duty player's account number. CST, I believe, but I saw in the main folder. If you see the render thread count or worker thread count, you found the right one, and save it. So he changed it. And I remember this. He said it didn't do anything. So it gave me stable frames, but I need to test it for a week. So far, I'm getting 60 to 90 FPS. Any other things I should try out? It keeps fluctuating between 30 and 80. In one game, I got 80 plus FPS. In the next game, I got 20 to 30, all on low settings. What could be the reason? Is your RAM set up correctly in XMP? Indeed it is. Indeed it did. It has the same issue of one game FPS, next game bad FPS. So he changed the thread count, and then we were talking about our issues and downgrading to another GPU driver. He said he had it on Steam, so on and so forth. And then it's our back and forth, and we've been going at it. And yeah, so yeah, so the 40 to 70 FPS came from him changing into multi-threading in his settings, but he still is inconsistent. What do they have? Yeah, so with this here, he never mentioned if he was wireless or wired. Screen share. At that point, I gotta start charging him. You never mentioned if you were wired or wireless. I know we saw no packet loss or latency, but he never showed us. He just said he didn't see any. But he never mentioned what his latency was. Wireless. Do you have a screenshot of what your latency was when your frames dipped? Essentially, record a game with all telemetry turned on, then all telemetry turned on. One of the telemetries is obviously frame rate on this one. So then take a snapshot of when your frame dips and post it to us. We'll do it that way. Probably running too many windows with with prawn. Only explanation for the 48 gigs of RAM. You know how many tabs that would be? At least 6 or 600. Frame dips and post it to us. Yeah, show us. I don't believe you. I don't believe you at this point, because you know you're telling me everything is fine, but you won't show us anything. So yeah, he never mentioned if he was wired or wireless. Do you have a screenshot of what your latency was when your frames dipped? Essentially record a game with all telemetry turned on, then take a snapshot of when your frame dipped and post it to us. Yeah, I need to see it for myself. There are some cases that you can work where you have to wonder about the customers. Like, it's like his issues, they don't line up. And so, because you know, if his issue starts as soon as he targets someone, his frame drops. Then it doesn't matter if it's single player or multiplayer, it should always give him that issue. Okay, so it's only in multiplayer. Okay, cool. Well, if it's only in multiplayer, then we have an issue with network connectivity. Oh, no. The network is fine. I was like, well, okay, if the network is fine, then you should have the issue in single player. You see what I'm saying? It's a catch-22. Something's going on here. So you're only telling me part of the story. So prove it. I don't believe you. I simply don't believe you. Because your issues are too inconsistent. If either it's gonna freeze in single player and multiplayer, or if it only freezes in multiplayer, something's up with your network. So if something is up with your network, you'd see it in the frame rate. So you have to show it to us. So as soon as it says 20, I want to see what your frame rates are and your packet latency, and then we can go from there. Detective OpenForum on the catch. Exactly. Trying to stop the prawn users. Yeah, folded meat, man. You're gonna have to prove it to me, bro. I don't believe you at all. Because it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Though this is a good idea, this whole thread count. I didn't know you can do that from the local documents. I just moved them or deleted them and let it recreate it. But that is useful. Let me actually save that. Scroll down to render thread count and set it to your thread amounts. It's also set to 4, but you can set it to 12, I believe, for the 3600X. That's good information. So let me take that. Because I did not know about that, and now I do. So that's a good troubleshooting method. So that's a good thing about looking at some of these comments. They may say some things that I never even thought of. But I've never had to, because I mean, most games, 4 is actually pretty good. Most games are pretty much all it needs, but I guess in his case, he may. Also, he never mentioned his resolution. I should probably ask him that. Also, what resolution are you running at? I swear, if he says 4K, I'm just gonna feel stupid. I'm just gonna quit. Do I have a CompTIA cert? No, I have a CCNP. In security, and I've had one in route switch, and I've had one in what did they used to call it? Oh God, I don't know. It was I can't remember what it's called. It was route switch, and then there was another one. Oh, CCDA. So it's a CCMP and a CCDP. So in a CCDA. So yeah. So my background is truly networking and security. But I also, before I got into networking, I was in PC tech. So I did that for most of my life. So tech support and PC and all that kind of stuff is kind of a background of how I got into networking in the first place. But yeah, now currently I'm in networking. But as you notice, I don't go too deep into it. Like I don't like if there was like a firewall issue or something like that, I don't go that deep. Because if I do, then we're kind of going on to the crossing over. I don't want to cross over. I'm trying to stay on the residential side and help as many people as I can. If I go over to the commercial side, I'm not really helping people. I'm just solving issues. So I like it better over here where, you're helping people and you're trying to help them reach the conclusions and, problems that they couldn't solve by themselves, or they either had to pay for it and they could afford it, things of that nature. So I think I do more good here than I can on the commercial side. And if I wanted to go to commercial side, I'll just go to work. Is the way I look at it. All right, folded meat, man. I'll probably see you tomorrow. Alrighty, what time? 7:27. Okay, we got another one. All right, cool. So, ooh, Lord, this one long. Ooh, I can do T now. T. All right, let's do this. Oh, I like the name. I don't like the ending, but I do like the name. Slowpoke 420 writes, new setup stuck in boot loop. DRAM LED glowing orange. Didn't we have this issue? We had one with the RAM glowing orange. I thought it was an issue. Or did I not think it was an issue? I think at the end of the day, it was glowing orange, but it didn't mean anything. Like he was able to fix it without, and it was still glowing orange. And everything was fine. But we'll take a look at it. Hey guys, I just purchased my new setup. An i5 13600K, Gigabyte Z790 Gaming XAX, G-Skill Triton Z5, DDR5, Jesus, 6,000? 6,000? Holy crap, bro, that's stronger than mine. Fractal Pop Air XL, Gameward RTX 2060 for mode setup, understandable. Arctic Liquid Freezer 2 AIO, Be Quiet Straight Power 750 Platinum, that's fine for the 2060. However, while assembling, I managed to scrape off a little metal of the main board in before. Yeah, it was dumb because it was. Nonetheless, assembled the PC, double checked all the connectors. Yet the DRAM LED light keeps glowing orange while booting. resulting in an automatic system restart after about 20 seconds, meaning it doesn't even boot into BIOS. So naturally, I did a CMOS BIOS update via USB, which successfully finished. However, even after updating, it is still stuck in before mentioned boot loop. Sadly, I don't have any other boards or RAMs to test if they might be faulty. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. If they may be faulty. That's not one stick, bro. That's more than one. Might have killed the board with the scratch. For reference, the scratch is located near the I/O shield on top of the left corner of the board. It looks like it's crossing a lane on the board. Here are some pictures of the scratch. Oh, I'm so watching this. You got to show me. What? I don't even know what I'm looking at, bro. Where's his RAM at? You take out the RAM just so he can show us? Oh. Oh, okay. So he didn't break the board. It's just a scratch across the top of it. Oh, that should be fine. Yeah, I don't think he broke it. Here's a video of the rebooting. Oh, snap. Well, the memory lights up. I see the orange light for sure. That is a code. That's a code. You may want to look that up in the manual. Because it switched, right? Because it's orange and then it moved over to another one. Make sure I'm not going crazy. Yeah, that's a code. All right. All right. So that appears to be a code on the motherboard. If you notice, the glowing orange goes back and forth between two different LEDs, or between two different LEDs, but both are orange. I would say check the manual for errors, but yes, you do have gear to test. Turn off the PC and try with one dim stick and see if it boots, then test with the other. Do that. Yeah, I like that. That's clean right there. That's clean. That's clean. Yeah. So he really does have something to test, because it seems okay if it's coming from his RAM, right? Then it's a possibility that maybe one of his dim sticks are bad. In which case, it would explain the orange light possibly. But I don't want to make too many inferences on orange lights because we got burned on that one last time. So I would say it's rebooting consistently and it's not getting into Windows, which sounds more like a memory issue or motherboard or CPU. If that's the case, then go ahead and remove one of the memory slots and see if it'll boot. If it boots with one DIMM slot, then you know the other DIMM is bad, and we'll just go from there. And also look up the code. Look up that code to see if it's on the motherboard, because I'm sure it looks like a code. For it to blink back and forth like that, it looks like a code. All right, Slowpoke, I hope that helps. Hopefully he'll be a slow pro by tomorrow. Alrighty, I thought he meant he broke the board, but he didn't really do anything to it. That should be all right. It should be all right. I don't think that's it. Alrighty, we'll do, okay, 733. Let's do one more because this is a Mac and this is a repeat. And these Mac issues, man. I don't think, okay, we maybe solved one. Mac issues are kind of a pain because it's only so much you can do. And then my brand new Mac, it doesn't want to work properly with Camlink, but I'll fix it later. I'll fix it over the weekend. Okay, so this is from Doge 4325. He was talking about his MacBook screen has lights, lines, and it's flickering. I woke up and my MacBook screen suddenly has weird lines and is flickering. I reinstalled macOS 3, reset NVRAM, PRAM, and source, but nothing works. I contacted Apple support, but they just told me to boot in safe mode. And then I was like, hey, when you reload, does the flickering stop? Also, do you have a second monitor? Does the flickering appear on that guy too? Also, in the display settings, you can turn off the laptop monitoring, leaving only the second monitor to see if the issue persists. And he says, I don't have a second monitor yet, but I have an iPad. So I have mirrored the display to there. The flickering never stops and sometimes contrast shifts. Okay, but if you mirror what you see on your laptop, it's gonna show the flickering because it's mirroring the laptop. The laptop sees the flickering. So that doesn't really help us. But what does is, what is it called? Apple Cart? Apple Cart? Well, instead of mirroring, use the iPad as a second monitor. That should be available. Sidecar? I think it's called Sidecar. Is it called Sidecar? I think it's called Sidecar. I'll just say it. That should be available in your version of iOS. Forgot the name, but it's located in the top right. Oh no, it's not in the top right. It's on the settings of the iPad at the top right of the Mac, I believe, and in settings on the, well, not settings, but the okay, now's the time I don't have my iPad. An iPhone works. iPhone has it too. Okay, maybe it is. It wasn't, let me think about it. What is it called? That's all right. He can look it up. That should be available in your version of iOS. Forgot the name, but it's located in the top right. And when it's set to a second screen, instead of mirroring, let me know if the issue persists. This is a trap. It shouldn't persist. So basically, it's okay to ask questions to trap people because you're trying to trap them in order to figure out what's going on. Because if they tell you, hey, I set it up so that the second screen is set up, however, the issue is persisting, that's a lie. Okay, and the reason why you want to set traps is because sometimes people don't want to do the work to troubleshoot the issue. They just want an answer. So if you give them an answer that requires work, they may not want to do it. So you lie traps, and so you lie traps in order to figure out if this person is telling the truth or not. Because if they're not telling the truth, they're just wasting your time. What they want is an answer, and they don't want to do any work to figure it out. So the best way to handle those kind of people is to trap them. And you can trap them because you know for a fact, if I set up a second monitor, there is no way in blue hell this iPad is also going to show that exact same shifting issue. You see what I'm saying? Like, because it's through Wi-Fi and it's not connected to the laptop. And if it is showing that shifting issue, is it at the same time as the laptop? Because then, okay, then you may just have a software issue or something like that. But for it to actually show on the iPad and the iPad actually show that at the same time, like that's super, 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 super unlikely. Because all it's doing is sending over a feed to the iPad. It would not send over a messed up feed. You see what I'm saying? It's just not going to happen. So it's so rare for something like that to happen. That's why this is a trap. So let's see what he says, because he didn't really answer that the first time I asked him, but let's see what happens. Also in display settings, you can turn off the laptop monitoring, leaving only the second monitor and see if the issue persists. Yeah, he didn't do any of this. You know, all he said is that he had a second monitor and he tried to mirror. You see what I'm saying? This is the reason why you trap people like that. Because basically you ask a bunch of questions and they don't answer any of them, you trap them. Off topic, but what books do you recommend for security? Well, if you want to do like networking security, then actually I don't if you notice the memory, the way I remember things, I don't remember books. I remember videos and pictures. So if it's a picture, I'll remember it. But if it's a book, I won't remember it. So for me, I liked getting all my learning done from like a Udemy or an INE. If we're talking about security, those are probably going to be your best. I'm sorry, not Udemy, but CBT Nuggets. CBT Nuggets is really good. INE is really good. But see, the thing about INE is if you are a 6 to a 10 in security. So like on a scale of 1 to 10, if you're from 6 to 10, then INE is great. But if you're like at a 1 or a 2, then INE is terrible. CBT Nuggets and INE, yeah. Because if you come in at a 1 or a 2, the way they speak is very hard to keep up because they're so far ahead. You see what I'm saying? So it's really hard to keep up at INE from start to finish. But if you're midway, oh, it's great. Oh, it's great. Especially if you want to pass an exam, I would recommend INE over anyone. But for starters, I would say CBT Nuggets. For mid-range and finishers, I would say INE. But yeah, those are the two that I went to. I used to study in a closet. So like before I started doing all these streams and talking to people, I never actually talked to anyone. I used to like I had a job, right, where our office was a closet. And I used to stay there and study. And my boss was a network savant. Like he'd been doing it for years and years and years. And the way I learned network security is I would try to talk networking to him. If he ignored me, then I didn't know what the hell I was talking about. But if he replied, then that means I was making progress. So that's how I learned networking. I just kept studying until he actually was able to hold a conversation with me about networking. And once I got to that point, I was good. So yeah, it's kind of an interesting situation. I was like, okay, he's ignoring me. Obviously, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. So I was just stop talking and just go do something else. And then I'll come back like 2 weeks later and ask him something. And then he might reply. And if he does, I was like, fuck yeah, I'm making progress in this. But that's how I learned because, you know, eventually, like there's certain people in networking that are so high level, you just don't even know what you're saying sometimes. Like I would be talking about something stupid like a subnet. Like, man, that man don't care about nothing about no subnets. Like that's just like the dumbest thing you could talk about to a person who knows networking. Like, why are we talking about subnets, bro? We're talking about a firewall that came and you know, we talking about antivirus and malware, and you're talking about networks and subnets and dumb shit. Like we don't care. So it's one of those kind of situations you kind of have to grow into it, but that's pretty much how I learned. I just asked him questions. If he ignored me, then I was like, okay, well, obviously I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, so let me shut up. So yeah, that worked out pretty well. I'm still pretty close to him too. Great guy. Alrighty, Dodge 4325. I hope that helps. Well, okay, well this is a trap, but let's see what happens. Alrighty, so 7:41. That's a pretty good amount of time. Let's take a quick break here and play something, anything really. Let's play COD. I haven't played COD in forever. I wanted to, yeah, I probably will. I probably will try to play Forsaken a little bit, just so I can get the hang of it. Oh, I miss having tea. Oh, not having tea was awful. Okay. All right, let's do this. Actually, maybe Overwatch. Overwatch, I don't know, man. Overwatch, I was throwing snowballs and got destroyed, so I don't know how I feel about Overwatch these days. Every time I try to play Overwatch, I just get beat down. Well, I get beat down in, like, May things, but, like, in other stuff, I don't get beat down. Any day now. It's a loading. Oh, I'm already in chat. There we go. Now you can hear the music. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. Green tea. All right, COD, let's do this. Okay, let's minimize this because I can't see. Alrighty. And so this is just, I just do like little breaks in between my troubleshooting so that my mind can rest. If you guys have questions, be sure to ask them in the chat while I get destroyed in some video game. Some random video game. I just kind of flip a coin and play whatever. Though I'm actually behind on High on Life, like the series or whatever. I think I'm at episode 5, and I don't think I have enough content to make episode 6. So I have to at least play High on Life for like 30 minutes in one of these streams. I do it every day, so at some point I have to play High on Life because I need enough for episode 6. But yeah. All right, let's do this. Make sure everybody can hear me. Yes. Game, everybody can hear that? Yes, that looks good. Alrighty. It's taking too long. Oh, okay. Never mind. Alright, let's get destroyed in Team Deathmatch. That sounds like a fun thing to do. What? Oh. Hey, cuz, that's what I do. How dare you? Where's everybody? Why would I do that? I wasn't even anywhere near shooting him. I heard somebody die. Oh, they're just gonna... I can't stand that. This is the reason why I don't play Team Deathmatch all that often. Really? His gun is too slow. Oh, I thought he was a... Oh, crying out loud. I'm not helping anyone. Oh, man, I'm really bad at this game. Oh, for crying out loud. It's just terrible. There's no... I do not like Team Deathmatch. I don't know why I kept going. I should have stopped. Do this. Reload. Protect me. Avenge me. Oh, God. Yay! Shot people. Oh, okay, run around with a shotgun. There we go. Okay.
Hostile UAV in the area. Copy that. Mortar strike inbound now. Be advised, UAV is exiting the AO.
Do that. What gun is this? I don't even know what What you doing, cuz? Okay, now I stop sucking. Yeah. Oh, God. There they are again. Held up in somebody's corner. Oh, God, that was terrible. Why you don't go running with that? Ugh. Pop off for 20 seconds and then you proceed to just continuously... Oh, God. Come on. You can do this. Ugh. Kamikaze! Oh, God. I was so scared I paused. No. Oh my God, killed us both. What kind of skill is that? I'll show that face. I don't know why, I just love rockets. Really? Oh god. That drill charge is awful.
Striking the AO.
What is that?
Cluster mine deployed.
Y'all looking the wrong way. Oh my god. Bro, I have like... Nah. Huh? Dodge that. Oh god. People still use that stupid ass perk? I cannot stand that perk. Oh my god, that's just terrible. I'm just really bad again. Let's see if you yeah. Alright. Let's do this. Daily challenges. No one cares. That is not happening. I really don't see a point in leveling up in Call of Duty. Like, you don't really gain anything. All it does is make the people you fight harder. So it's like, I mean, what do I have to gain from it? It's not like I have to level up a weapon or something. And if I wanted to level up a weapon, I'd just play this match. So it's just like, eh.
Multiple movers here. Domination.
Yes, I realized I shot him with a freaking grenade for no reason. Oh my god. Really? It's the worst.
We're losing Bravo.
Don't die. Oh my god. Why is nobody going after Bravo?
UAV is active. Friendly UAV online. We're taking.
Is that so fucking hard? Right there. Get wrecked. I know I didn't mean to die from that, but I just killed myself. It's so stupid. I don't know why I'm getting close to it. I should just run. Oh god! They're all over there! Seriously? How hard is this?
UAV active.
Oh, darn it. That was so worth it, though. Really? Just tearing them up. Ow! And they're tearing me up back. Let's do this. Ugh, trying to jump into people is stupid. I wish you would. Veto? Yo, protect me. With your... Oh, God.
We're losing Bravo.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Objective Bravo is compromised.
Oh, my goodness. Did he just fatality me? Alright, let me get rid of this stupid... Go away. Okay, enough of that. Move that and the grenade. Both of y'all can
Secure
go.
Bravo.
No. I'll take it. I'll take it. Like a G. Do not let them get that. Crying out loud.
Enemy taking Bravo.
No, they're not. Ran out of ammo. Oh, for crying out loud. Ah. Did he kill me? Oh, I thought he destroyed my,
Enemy securing Bravo.
No, you're not. I like it when everything goes boom. Get wrecked, son.
UAV online and opening the AO.
More boom. I just want to explode people. I literally will play this entire game like this. Ow.
Enemy taking Bravo.
Oh, come on. Protect me.
Taking Charlie.
Oh, God.
Securing Bravo.
Close my eyes and let the AK spray.
Our UAV is orbiting the area. Taking Bravo.
Oh, man.
Stay securing Alpha.
Popping off. You're not getting anything. You're not getting anything.
Enemy securing Bravo.
No. Oh, they're not.
We're losing Bravo. Securing objective Alpha. Bravo. UAV ready for tasking.
Oh, God.
We're losing Charlie. Bravo.
Oh, God. Ran out of ammo.
Charlie. Hostile strike in the area. Secure.
Whew. This is fun. Oh, God.
Securing Alpha.
Stupid flashbang. Yeah, block that.
Incoming.
Oh, God. He has the stupid trophy system. No. Ah, God. Oh, God. What's what is that? Make it stop.
We control 2 objectives.
Oh, God. SAE. Okay, hold on. Let me switch out. Is this car? Yeah, this is COD. This is shipment. No, get away from me.
Taking Bravo.
Oh, God, I ran out of ammo? What are the chances? God, give me like 20 seconds. Ugh. Okay. I have like an anti-air set, but it's just really... No. Everybody fighting you with that shotgun, you crazy. I saw what you did to my friends.
We're taking shots.
Think I'm about to take you head on after seeing that? Oh, God, I'm so dead. I heard that over here, bro. Okay. I'll protect us with that. We got this, bro. Oh, it totally worked. Why would you run into that? That was so stupid. You got rockets, you got grenades, and you just being stupid. Oh, he's bombing B. Okay. Oh, for crying out loud. How did I miss him? Okay, come on. Kamikaze! Love it. No. No. Oh. All that. No. Ooh. I don't know what it is, but I just love blowing people up. Oh god. Wow, Anthony, that was terrible.
UAV is exiting the area. UAV standing by.
Oh god. Really? Really? Yeah! 9,400! Oh, is it free to play? No, I think you have to pay for the game. When it first came out, it was, but that was in the beta, but now it's not. You have to pay for the game, and once you get the game, you have access to everything. But they have ways of trying to get money off of you that I'm not really crazy about, like the store and the battle pass and stuff like that. But I mean, you don't really need any of that, to be honest. You just need like a really decent gun. So if you can just get a decent gun, that's usually enough to take you over. But this right here, the thing about shipment is shipment will level all your weapons. So all you really need to do is just buy the base version of the game, and then to level your weapons, you play shipment. But when it first came out, shipment wasn't here. So you had to level the hard way. So you had to have some type of an experience, something like that. Otherwise, it'll take forever to get to the weapons that you want to get to. But now, just play shipment and just play with whatever weapon you want to level, and you'll level it in like, 5 or 6 games. And now that weapon is leveled, and just go ahead and go to the next one. So now that shipment is here, there's no point. There's absolutely no point. But yeah, let's get back to helping people. 802, yeah, that works. I tried to go a little bit longer on the support. That way I didn't go too long into video games, but I just did a little bit. I wasn't going too crazy. All right, let's get to work. Okay. All right. It's kind of an interesting one. All right, so let's go ahead and go to the next one here. Oh, wow. This is long. Okay, let me get ready. All right, so this one is from FixFaxer. FixFaxer writes, help with third monitor no signal. When trying to connect my third monitor to my fairly new PC with a 4090, I get no signal, error, and the monitor only shows up in the display settings for a second here and there with no options. I can hear a connection sound every few seconds, almost as if the cable was only halfway in the port. What I find strange is that the third monitor works perfectly if I disconnect my second monitor first. I'm also able to use the second and third monitor together if I disconnect the first monitor instead. Any ideas on what the problem can be and how to potentially fix it? I have tried to reconnect all monitors one by one, made sure I have the latest GPU driver, made sure all monitors are on extend these displays, Asus TUF Gaming RTX 4090, AMD Ryzen 9 7950X, he has my build, ROG Strix X670EF, and he has Windows 11 Pro. First monitor is an LG 42-inch C2 TV connected with HDMI 2.1, running 4K at 120. And then his second monitor is a 24-inch, and then it's connected with HDMI to display running 1080p at 60 hertz. third monitor connected with display port running at 4K 60. Okay, so you're running 4K 60, 4K 120, and then a 1080p at 60 hertz. Okay, so if he has the first and the third monitor, did he ever say that? What I find strange is that this third monitor works perfectly fine if I disconnect the second. So 1 and 3 can work together. Okay, so 1 and 3 can work together, and those are the both 4Ks. And 2 and 3 can work together. And that's a 1080p and a 4K, which should be fine. You have an Asus, I have a Gigabyte, but that shouldn't, okay. I would also like to humbly add that my PC knowledge is pretty limited. This might be a very obvious issue that I'm not seeing. Well, we know they can handle 3 monitors because I can. Most graphics cards can, but if we're connected at HDMI 2.1, running 4K at 120. So he's running 4K at 120 at 1. Is it well, he's already updated his drivers on his graphics card. And one is connected with HDMI to display, and one is connected with a display port 1.2, and the other one is connected with HDMI. So 2 displays and an HDMI. We know 2 and 3 work, and we know 1 and 3 work without 2, and 2 and 3 work without 1. Okay. Question. If you set, I don't have a 4K 120, so if you set your 4K monitor to 60 hertz, does this fix the issue? Can you add the third monitor? The reason why I'm asking this is because I've never had a 4K 120, so I don't know what that would be like, but I remember there being a time where to get 4K 120, you would have 2 display ports going into the actual monitor. I'm not sure if that's the case anymore. I doubt it. But if you take it down to 4K 60, and then the other one is running 4K 60, does it allow you to add the third one at 1080p at 60? That's a real question. So just making sure my mic is working. So let's ask him that. That's like, hey, question, if you set your 4K monitor to 60 hertz, does this fix the issue? Can you add the third monitor? That's a good question. Okay, so let me think here. If there's any other questions that we can ask. No, that's really the best question you can ask him. Well, also the 1080p running HDMI to display. The 1080p monitor, I don't think this guy has a display port. Pretty sure it doesn't. Let me see. Search the web for it. Maybe it does. No, it's a monitor. It's supposed to have a display port. Specs. Power, standard input, HDMI. Oh, it has D-sub? Is that the DVI? I can't remember. I don't remember what D-sub is. But it's not display. so it just has multiple HDMI ports. And it works whenever you have the other one out. Okay, well, yeah. I would, yeah. I'm not even sure if there's any more to add to that. Question, if you set your 4K monitor for 60 hertz, does this fix the issue? Can you add the third monitor? I think that fixes all. I think that answers all of the questions. All of the second question. If you remove your GPU and just use the 7950X, can you add all 3 monitors? 7950X has an internal GPU. Do this step last. Yeah, that's clean. Oh, that's clean. So So okay, so his issue, right? He has one at 4K 120. I've never had a 4K 120, nor has most people. But 4K 120 might be running. I used to think that 4K 120, like Linus did a video where he had a 4K 120 and then he looked behind it and it had 2 display ports running to it. So I don't know if that's something that's normal or not. But it's neither here nor there because he has HDMI, because it's connected with HDMI 2.1 and it's running 4K 120. So it's like, okay, well, change that 120 to 60 because we know that that 1 and 3 work without 2, and we know 2 and 3 work without 1. Okay, so change 4K to 60 and go 60 hertz, 60 hertz, 60 hertz. Does that fix his issue? And then the second part is, because maybe there's some type of a limitation that I don't know about on the 4090 running at 4K 120, maybe there's some limitation. I don't know. I know that 2K 240, 4K 60, and 4K 60 work. And I'm not at his level. I don't like, okay, maybe I am. So 2K 240 versus 4K 120. So I know that 2K 240 works with 2 4K 60s. That works just fine. So now obviously I'm not running an HDMI to display, but that shouldn't matter because he said that his 2 and 3 work without 1. But all that aside, trying the CPU as an integrated graphics to see if that resolves the issue is also a really good point, because it'll be interesting to see if we can out all 3 monitors with the 7950X. And then kind of let us know after that, because if the 7950X works and the graphics card doesn't, and he already tried 60 hertz and it doesn't, then that kind of points us in the right direction. We know we're looking at the graphics card for some reason. So that really points us in the right direction. So that's a good way to play him. I like that. Fixed Faxer, you got some good things to test there. Hope that helps. That's clean. That's clean. That's clean. That lets you know I'm still awake because that's a good issue. Alrighty, so this next one here, let me check something real quick here. Good Lord, what happened? Hello? Okay, yeah. That looks fine. That looks fine. That looks fine. That's kind of weird. Okay, whatever. Alrighty, so this is from William Legal. William writes, delay in Ethernet internet connection after restarting Windows 11 or booting from shutdown. I'm using Ethernet. Does anyone here have their internet disconnected for like 5 to 10 seconds after restarting Windows or boot from Windows from shutdown, not sleep, and then connect it? Like the internet doesn't connect right away. I'm pulling my hair of this issue. Yeah, I already know this issue. So go to Start Device Manager, Network Adapter. And once you're there, what is it? I think it's power or something. Oh, not control panel, just device manager. Device manager. Network adapter. And go to your, then go to your Ethernet card. Right click, properties, and what was it? Properties, power management. I was right. I had that pegged 100%. Power management, and turn off, what's it called? Selected suspension. Allow computer to turn this. Turn mine off too. Turn off. Allow computer to turn off this device to conserve power, and apply. And apply. Also, you can go to your battery options and set it to performance. Yeah. Let's see if that fixes it, and then let him tell us. Because yeah, sure, you can say a few other things that you can do. you know, then we might kind of go into the networking and look at the router and stuff like that. But there's no real point. I would rather him reply to me with this than start, you know, leveling out with like 4 different things that he can check. I'd rather him just reply to these 2 because those 2 are great in order to troubleshoot this particular issue. But basically, Windows 11 for like a year, using it now, and I'm stuck with no solution after searching online for a while. Thanks for any input. But basically, it takes him a while for his Ethernet to actually get him network connectivity. Typically, once it comes back up, it's usually pretty quick because Ethernet is one of the first things that come up on the motherboard. But if it's coming up and it's taking a long time, then it's possible that now he does say from shutdown, not sleep. I'm still thinking that he may have a power issue. So I would make sure that that whole device manager, make sure that's turned off, because that can do a lot of weird things with their networking card. Now, if he comes back to me and he's like, okay, yeah, I've basically done this whole power management thing, and it's turned off, as well as my battery is set to performance, yet I still have the problem, then we can start working it as a networking issue. Because what may be happening is that it's taking them too long to pull an IP address. But we would know, the only way we would know that is if we went into ipconfig on the command prompt and then seeing what he was actually getting. So yeah, we would have to troubleshoot it that way. Also, we would have to determine if he was wired or wireless at this point. He does say Ethernet. But a lot of people confuse Ethernet and internet when they first start. So yeah, I'm guessing he's wired. There's a possibility that he could be wireless, but we'll reach those gaps when we get to it. I would still feel pretty comfortable about him answering these questions before we continue. So I'm not worried about it. Alrighty. Give me one quick second. Let me check something real quick. Just making sure my stream did not trip out on me. I don't think so. Okay, yeah, no, it looks fine. I don't know what's going on. That's so weird. Whatever. My my stream was tripping. Like, well, it looked like it was tripping, but it looks like it's fine. It was tripping earlier, like when I first started. Like, I don't know why, man. OBS is worrying me. I might literally take a weekend off and switch to vMix, and see if that works over OBS. OBS sometimes, man. Sometimes OBS be having me worried. All right, Dylan, and Dylan, because I spit hot fire. Dylan writes, I'm sorry if this seems dumb. Does this sound like I have been hacked? We talked about this. So, yeah, so basically he was talking about his computer having some issues, and he ran a system scan. There was some chaos. Tried to use an easy capture USB stick to record some old VHS tapes. The video settings would cause my streaming software to crash. And so what is the ask on this one? Do you want to know if you were being hacked? If so, I would say run Malwarebytes on every single drive you have and see if it finds anything. I want to know if it's possible if I am being hacked or just paranoid. Discord is now missing. I'm sorry? It's missing? Update, Discord is missing. I'm not the only person he's talking to. There is a class of hackers who specifically target webcams to spy on people. Many of these hackers seem to target women, but I'm sure they can target people of any gender. First thing to do is likely to disconnect your webcam when using it. If it's a built-in webcam, then you can't physically disconnect without disassembling the computer. Try taping something over the camera to cover it up. All right. I'm not going too deep into this, but I have to say it, okay? Alrighty, let's give a little lesson in network connectivity and firewalls, okay? So, the way a firewall works is that there is inside and there is outside, okay? So routers and firewalls, there is routers can have multiple, well, they all can have multiple subnets, but that's beside the point. But there's an inside and an outside, all right? So consider the inside all your devices that are in your home, and the outside is the one public IP address that your internet service provider gives you, okay? Typically, traffic goes from in to out, okay? And routers and firewalls these days are what's called stateful, which means that if traffic goes from in to out, then the subsequent traffic back is also allowed back in because it belongs to someone. Okay, so if you go to Google and Google replies, "I'm here," then that traffic will be allowed back in because you originally went to Google. Okay, now if traffic originates from the outside, there is no way in blue hell it can get to your private IP address because it has no idea who you are. So your IP address is 10.10.10.2 or 192.168.0.1, right? But that IP address is not usable on the internet. Your real IP address is 64.68.2.13 that came from your internet service provider. He can see that, but he can't see you behind it, right? So if he wanted to try to attack you, he couldn't do that by going through your public IP address because he doesn't know who you are on the other side, right? He's initiating traffic. On top of that, firewalls and routers do not allow traffic that's initiated from the outside to come in. That's where port forwarding comes in. So port forwarding allows you to put little chisels of holes in your firewall to allow things to initiate traffic from the outside if they're coming over specific ports. That's where port forwarding comes in. But firewalls and routers prevent outside traffic from initiating a connection to you. On top of that, your 10 IP address or your 192 IP address cannot be in the public space. It'll get killed by the first hop or your router. So if your router somehow let that go through, it doesn't really matter because it'll be killed by the next hop because 192 is a C space. It's a local space. It can't be in the public internet. So what is a hacker to do? He can't reach you from the public. Because on top of that, even if he could, he doesn't know what IP address you really have. You're like 192.168.3.4. He doesn't know that. So what they do instead is they go after applications. So you may have an application like TeamViewer that they can access. You see what I'm saying? Because it's the easiest way to hack somebody is to get a hold of something that's easy. So like, for example, you let them borrow a thumb drive and on the thumb drive, there's malware, or you infect a computer that infects everybody on the network. You see what I'm saying? So that's usually the better ways to get at somebody. And I'm not sure why I'm saying that, but, but I'm saying that so to help people understand exactly what is happening. So nobody is trying to get into your network and try to figure out who you are because they will be blocked by the firewall or the router that you have. All routers do this right now, okay? So the way they can get to you is through applications, hence why you would run like a Malwarebytes and something like that. So that's why I recommend Malwarebytes as opposed to telling him about, turning off his webcam and stuff like that. Now, that's not to say that he doesn't have some type of virus or malware that is affecting him. It's not to say that he doesn't have some type of application or command and control that is affecting him. It's just to say that a hacker from the outside just can't reach you from the inside. He has to go by other means. He has to use an application or something like that. Or you have to install malware or download something malicious. Those things. That's the only way he can get to you. Otherwise, he can't. So I just wanted to clear that up because everybody has these preconceived notions that the government is after me and all that kind of stuff. Okay, well, what did you download? Because that's the best way to get to you is through an application tunnel. Because you can tunnel right through that freaking firewall if there's an application tunnel set up. It's totally different. Because that's both sides agreeing to create a tunnel. Does that make sense? So if this application and this application agree to create a tunnel, then that's allowed through. Versus just some random person over here trying to access your network. It's not going to happen. So in this particular situation, I would still say application. Now, if we look at his issue, he says, my computer kept on dipping in performance every now and then, especially when searching. Try to use Easy Capture Stick to try and record OVHS tapes. Tried updating a couple of drivers to see if I can get it to work. Then supplied the program that came with said drivers. Tried going through my normal streaming software only for me to not be able to access any of my video device options. Try to update my GPU, but after my computer refuses to download the driver, sometimes GeForce refuses to properly boot up, giving me a black screen. Install the driver manually. The video settings still would cause my streaming software to crash. Updated Windows 11 to the latest version and updated the chipset drivers. Unable to access Chrome, Edge because the shortcuts have been broken. Not sure if the programs have been removed or simply moved to a number of folders. Yeah, I would say Discord is now missing. Okay. I would say the exact same thing. Hey, Roblox, man, what's going on, bro? I would say the exact same thing I said earlier. run Malwarebytes or Malwarebytes to see if there is anything malicious on your computer. But okay. It is always bad juju to go to the conclusion, right? So like when people troubleshoot issues and they be like, okay, yeah, go ahead and wipe your computer. And that is their first troubleshooting option, it's trash. Okay. And I never taught that. In every single situation that I've ever been in where I've taught classes, I never teach people to go to wipe first. You never do that. Never, ever, ever. I don't care if we're talking about firewalls. I don't care if we're talking about routers. I don't care if we're talking about computers. I don't care if we're talking about people's birthdays. I don't care if we're talking about Macs. I don't care if we're talking about Linux. Never teach somebody to wipe as the first option. But for him, to cure his paranoia, you might want to say it because I don't think you're going to get around it. I would run Malwarebytes to see if there's anything malicious on your computer. But if you don't find anything, then just wipe the computer if you feel unsafe. But as to if there is a possibility, well, it depends on what Malwarebytes says. LOL. Hey, how's it going, bro? Is the 2017 iMac CPU soldered to the motherboard? The iMac CPU, yes. Well, the iMac, yes, all of them, every last one of them. I don't know if there's one that isn't. Not only is the CPU, the memory, and the drive are all soldered to the motherboard on every single one. I don't know of a single one that's not. I think on one of the iMacs though, they had a situation where you could update something, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But it's a possibility. But CPU for sure not. It's definitely soldered to the motherboard. As to if there is a possibility, well, it depends on what Malwarebytes says. Yeah, we'll play it that way, man. I'm not about to sit here and tell you whether or not you're being paranoid, because let it fall on me to be like, oh, bro, you're being paranoid. And then the next day, all of this stuff is encrypted. And it's like, send $20 to a Russian prince. And he was like, ain't you motherfucker? And I just don't want to be that guy, right? I don't want to be him to come back and be like, oh, hey, I tried to listen to you and this is the thanks I get. Now my files are encrypted and I owe somebody from some prince in Russia $20 and I'll blame you for it. Like, I don't want that to happen to him. So I would say run Malwarebytes, and depending on what Malwarebytes says, he may have to wipe. But the fact that Discord is missing is interesting. And if you wanted to troubleshoot that, I would not be upset with you. Like, could you troubleshoot the Discord thing? Of course you can. Go to control panel, check uninstall program, see if Discord has been uninstalled, things of that nature. Go to your program files, check for Discord, see if it's there, things of that nature. True. You can always try to troubleshoot the applications themselves, but he may need a faster answer, right? Because if I spent my answer trying to troubleshoot the Discord thing, that may actually take 3 days, where him just running Malwarebytes may just take 1. If he actually runs it. I've already told him to do it the first time, but he hasn't. But that's his fault. Because if he ran Malwarebytes and Malwarebytes came back to something that's malicious, then he shouldn't be doing it. You know, and he should go ahead and clean out with Malwarebytes and then see if everything is okay. But if he just lets his computer run without running Malwarebytes after I'm telling him to install and run Malwarebytes, it's his fault. So, you know, run Malwarebytes, see what Malwarebytes says. And if Malwarebytes comes back clean, now we can start troubleshooting applications and things of that nature, or wipe. But yeah, I would give somebody the out of. Okay, the only time I'll give somebody the out of wipe is if they're paranoid. Then, because there's nothing you can say. If a person is paranoid, there is absolutely nothing that another person can say to make him not think that. You know, you could be like, oh yeah, you're fine, you're just imagining it and stuff like that. But they're always going to have something in the back of their mind thinking that they're actually they're right. You see what I'm saying? It's really hard to make somebody not think that they're right. So I'm not about to fight that battle. All it is a wipe. Is all we're talking about. So it's not worth fighting that battle. Only reason why I don't tell people to wipe computers is because I always think I want to train people to be better than me. You see what I'm saying? I want you to be great when it comes to troubleshooting and working issues. So I never taught people how to do that because I would rather them learn why the issue occurred and how to fix it, because that's far more valuable. So the next time they run into another customer with that issue, they can help other people. That's why you do it. And if you just say wipe, 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 wipe every time, you're not going to learn anything. So that's the reason why I do it. But at the same time, if it brings him closure, wipe. It's not that big a deal. I'm not about to sit here and play and lose someone over it. Just, hey, run Malwarebytes. If Malwarebytes comes back bad and you still feel uncomfortable, then wipe. It's not that big a deal. I'm not trying to lose any fights over it, but Dylon, I hope that helps, bro. Keep us posted. And actually run Malwarebytes next time. Why are you still asking questions? Just run Malwarebytes. Because I swear, if you come back tomorrow and tell me your whole folder is encrypted, that's your fault. I told you to run Malwarebytes. Don't blame me. All right, cool. So this is not a repeat. All right, so this is from what? Jotentoit? Okay, Joda. Joda writes, FPS drop while playing. When I'm playing any game on my PC, at any time, the FPS drops drastically to 4 or 5 frames. Holy crap. Limiting itself to that after they stabilize again at 60, but at the moment they go down again, I need some help. Okay, well, I'm guessing he's not talking about 1% lows, but let me see what this. Oh, I already saw it, so I might as well read it. Lower all your graphics settings to the lowest possible inside the game, and then cap your FPS. If that doesn't work, try DXVK if it's DirectX game, or even if that doesn't work, find a file with the settings and make it the lowest possible outside the game. Yeah, you could do that. Let's give us some other options. Make sure VSync is turned off. There are some situations where I do like reading what people's comments are, because, okay, think of it like this, right? Let's say you're Dr. House, right? And a person comes in with a symptom, and they come in with, like, I don't know, upset stomach, rectal bleeding, and red eyes, right? So reading somebody's comments is the equivalent of saying, hey, we tried cancer and cancer was negative. You see what I'm saying? It eliminates options that I would think of to troubleshoot. So it's like, okay, so it makes it more interesting. Okay, cool. So you tried this, and this person recommended this, and this. Okay. So it can't be this. You see what I'm saying? So it's really cool when you read other people's comments, because if you can come with a different angle that may actually solve their problem, then that helps. And then let them get the credit for theirs because they posted it first. So, whatever. The goal is to help the person. So make sure VSync is turned off. That's something he didn't mention. And then after they stabilize again at 60, but at that moment they go down, I need some help. Also update drivers. Also, I would say to update your graphics drivers. Also, what GPU? He don't know what GPU means. What graphics card do you have? Also, what resolution are you running at? And what game are you playing? Only reason why I want to know that is because of telemetry. Same thing with that COD question that we had earlier. I just want to see if it has, like frame rate, network latency, network drop, stuff like that. If it's a game that has that, I would like to get that information as well. So that's the only reason why I post that. But that gives them some other options, the things to test on top of what my my lovely colleague Rahib777 says. Apparently Rahib is extremely lucky. Alrighty. Hope that helps, Jota. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce the rest of that because I don't think I can. I don't think I have enough T's in my vocabulary to say your name. I got like 2 T's, man. If there's 3, I don't know what to tell you. I don't even know. I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm just gonna let it go. Alrighty, so a routing issue. Okay, cool. I was making sure I didn't answer it. All right, so this one is from Flinstinct. Flinstinct. Okay. Flinstinct writes, internet router loses internet every time I load a competitive game of Overwatch. Okay. Almost every night for the past few months, at the beginning of a Overwatch game, I lose internet and I look down and my Bluetooth router is flashing green. Well, that's your problem. You're playing competitive Overwatch. Nobody plays that anymore. Then flashes orange, then returns to blue, meaning it is connected to the internet again. The whole process lasts at about a minute, but it almost always happens when I load in or when I'm in the middle of an Overwatch game. It very rarely happens any other time. Why did he say Bluetooth router? Does he mean he has a Bluetooth dongle or an internet dongle? I have absolutely no idea what is causing this, and we have multiple Bluetooth engineers? Bluetooth? It can't be Bluetooth. Multiple BT engineers come out and fix certain issues and then say everything is fine. Bandwidth tech? I don't know what BT means. Is it possible there is something about my PC that is problems? That is the problem, because at this point they say the router and the line are fine and the timing is just so suspicious. My partner has had her PC connected to the router for a week and it hasn't dropped out once. The second I moved my PC back downstairs on the router, it happened. Okay. I have just this minute tried uninstalling NordVPN in case that was the issue, but if anyone could offer guidance, that would be much appreciated. It is incredibly annoying and has dropped me from diamond to gold from constant ban penalties. That's not the worst thing in the world, going from diamond to gold. That means you could just crush some people. But I'm sorry. I didn't mean to scroll down. I was trying to there's so much I wanted to say. Okay, so first off, NordVPN isn't going to do anything unless you actually create a VPN tunnel. That's the first thing I wanted to say. Second, I don't know what a BT is. I looked down at my BT router. I'm guessing BT is like an internet service provider. So, that would make sense. Okay, so yeah, so let's say BT is like Blue Transformer router. So that's like some internet service provider. So we had multiple transformer engineers come out and fix certain issues, then say everything is fine. Okay, well, how are you connected to your router? How are you connected to your router? You mentioned you had this issue downstairs. If you move back upstairs, does this issue follow you? Also, where is the router located? Upstairs or downstairs? How are you connected to the router? I don't think he may not know what that means. Wired or wireless? How are you connected to your router, wired or wireless? You mentioned you had this issue downstairs. If you move back upstairs, does this issue follow you? And where is the router located, upstairs or downstairs? That's the way I would troubleshoot this. Having engineers come out just means that the line from the line to the modem or router is fine. Which I believe that to be the case as well, because your girlfriend is fine or partner is fine. So if your partner's fine and they don't have this issue and they don't run into this problem, but you do, then it's going to be some type of network connectivity between yourself and the router. So I'm not exactly sure where you are in respect to the router, so we just got to figure that out. But once we figure that out, I think we'll be in good shape. Is the timing the same? Like, is it always at the exact same time? Are you connected wireless? Have you tried connecting directly to your router? No, timing varies throughout the night, and I am wired into the router with an Ethernet cable. He's wired. So when he was upstairs, was he wireless? Okay, I didn't even reply to my own thing. Also, where is the router located, upstairs or downstairs? You mentioned you had this issue. Just saw your replies below. Okay, so if you're wired, does that mean when you were upstairs, you were wireless? Does this also mean your partner is connected wirelessly too? Yeah, do it that way. It's kind of an interesting one, right? Because it's like, okay, well, he's wired, but wirelessly, his partner was cool. And if he was upstairs, then he's probably wireless upstairs too. So if he was wireless upstairs and wired downstairs, and he only has the issue when he's wired, then we may be looking at bad Ethernet cables, bad Ethernet adapters, or bad Ethernet ports on the router, but that's highly unlikely. It's far more likely that he has a bad cable or his Ethernet adapter on his computer may be out or going out or bad or something along those lines. But if it only happens whenever he connects to multiplayer, that doesn't really tell us a whole lot because he may only play competitive. Because you got to think about it like this. If okay, some people go into Overwatch and only play competitive. They don't play the regular matches, so he doesn't know if it works on the regular matches or not. He only just talked about competitive because that's the only one he plays. But I wonder if he has the exact same problem when he just plays free to play, or what's it called, free to play, whatever, the one where you can just pick people and just play. So if he has that issue during then that would make more sense. But because if it's only a competitive, that's kind of a rare situation. Like, how would it know that he's connected via trying to go competitively? It should know whenever he tries to connect to somebody else on the network or try to connect to the servers at Overwatch, you know, but at the same time, you know, if it disconnects him, I would think router. Oh yeah, firewall. Also, could you disable your firewalls on the PC, then test competitive, then turn them back on when done? Yeah, we'll just do it that way. Yeah, you can tell him to get out of competitive in order to test, but I'll wait because if not, if I keep typing, it's gonna be at least 2 or 3 paragraphs of things that he can do. I'd rather not because I mean, obviously, I know Overwatch like the back of my hand, so I don't want to keep going because if I do, it'll be like 3 pages. So we'll just stop there and see what he says. Alrighty, who was that? Flinstinct. I hope that helps. Alrighty, I'm getting sore. Okay, there we go. Alrighty. Alright, this is from Vuko14 or Vuko1. I saw 4 hours ago and I thought that was the 4 that was next to his name. Vuko writes, fan rattle, how do I fix it? Hey, recently I started to have a fan rattle on my GPU. 2600 MSI Gaming Z. It happened only on one fan and mostly in games when GPU reaches 60 degrees Celsius, fan starts spinning and I have a metallic sound like the fan is hitting something or I don't know. I do try to tear the fan apart and try to oil the bearing using oil, but that didn't help. What the hell? What? Is there any other way so I can fix it? Apparently I cannot afford a new one fan this month. Fan seems to work, but this noise is driving me crazy. Here's the video. Is there sound? Can y'all hear this? Oh, here, let me switch off. Oh, there is sound. Okay, hold on one second. We'll hear this together. It sounds like it's hitting his cable. Doesn't sound like it's bad. It just sounds like it's hitting his cable. I guess I hope everybody else hears that. Probably loose and vibrating when it hits that frequency or whatever RPM. Yeah, but if that's also game over and he already knows he wants to replace his fan. So, yeah. Sounds like it's hitting a cable. Oh yeah, let me switch back. Sounds like it's hitting a cable or hitting the fan cable possibly. But if it's not, that it's game over for that fan anyway. But you, nah, I'm not gonna say that. I was gonna say, but you kind of already knew that, but I don't want to say that because I don't want to come off sounding better than I am. I'm trying to make a joke about it, but it may be sensitive to him because he said he can afford to get a new fan, so I don't want to make light of his situation. Sounds like it's hitting the fan cable possibly, but if it's not, then if it's not that, it's game over for that fan anyway. It's like trying to repair a hard drive. It's not worth it. There we go. That's a little safer. Yeah, when it comes to fans and hard drives, I rank them the same. You don't want to repair those guys. You just want to get the heck out. If he is getting a new fan, then who cares? Exactly. That's what I was meant to be like. I was like, man, he already knew it was a fan issue. That's why I was like, but you already kind of knew it was a fan issue. I mean, you know it. You're gonna have to replace it. So, because he's like, what did he say that? Like the fan is hitting something. I tried to tear it apart. Yeah, when he said apparently I cannot afford a new fan, a new one this month or whatever, so he already knows that he probably has to replace that fan. So there's nothing really anybody can add to it. But you know, is a possibility that it's hitting the cable? Yes. But is there anything that you can do about it? Probably not. You can try to make sure that it's not, if something may have came loose on the actual cable, but it's usually game over. It's like if fans go out, it's like a 95% chance you're not gonna fix it. It may be 98. Like, it may be worse than hard drives. Even some hard drives you may be able to fix. But if a fan goes out, man, it's usually game over. Because a fan is so cheap, it's better to replace it than try to figure it out. And at least a hard drive is a little bit more expensive, so you want to at least try to get it to work. But if a fan goes out, it's pretty much game over. It has like a 98, 99% mortality. If it's out, man. Fans you don't play with, man. If they're out, just let them go. Alrighty, Buko, I hope that helps. Yeah, it's it's an interesting one. It's rare that people ask me about fans. Oh God, me and MacBook Airs. It's mashed potato. Sounds like it's game over. Okay. This is just me picking up from where we left off. So I think we had a whole conversation about this. I want to drain the battery, see what happens. Thank you. Sounds like a game over. Okay. MacBook Air screen not turning on. See post with video. I've tried everything. Oh yeah. So this is a person who couldn't get his Mac to turn back on, and he's tried multiple things. I thought you tried multiple things. Well, you said you lost everything, but Macs typically back up to the iCloud. Do you have a backup? Because I was trying to give him an alternative. So this looks like a wipe, but do you have Apple Care? If so, you can just take it to them and they can fix it for you. And he was like, I do thankfully have a backup. He was cool on that. If the HD is going out there in place, it is a liability to use a dying HD. Exactly. All HD and fans, man, it's always game over. I would give fans like a 99% mortality. Like if the fans start going out, just replace it. Hard drive like 96%, because sometimes it can just be like the SATA cable or something like that, so you might be able to fix it. But yeah, both of them guys, if they're going out, just let them go, because you might mess around and put something on them. Yeah, it's bad. Yeah, and then he was upset about the Apple products always dying. I was like, yeah, I can happy. Sorry about that, bro, but most definitely sounds like game over. And then he said it might be stuck in a weird boot loop. He tried a bunch of times, it did nothing. And then he said the sound comes on, but that's all. Wait, you have sound? No fans as far as I know, no keyboard lights. The Apple logo at the back of the laptop doesn't turn on. He has sound though. Yeah, that's not good. Another try, clearing your stuck state, press power, hold the option R command. I want this. He's not the first person who said this. And I've never done it before. So that's useful information. Let me grab that. For Macs. I've never done that before. But I've never had I've never been in this particular state. It may take multiple attempts, but knowing you get the chime is at least a good thing. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That chime, him getting the chime is interesting. Other ways to try would be to unplug. But see, here's the thing. Okay, this is why I said, oh, he gets the sound, but then I let it go and I kept reading. it's the reason why I did that is because, okay, let's say he gets the sound, right? So he boots it up, he gets the sound, but he has no picture. He doesn't have Apple Care, so he can't fix it. Okay, so let's say it's the monitor. Well, he can't fix it. Okay, well, let's say it boots up, he has sound, but then he can't actually get into the Mac and he has a problem with the drive. Well, he can't fix that either. Now, he can try to install Mac OS on a different drive, but the fact that it doesn't even give him the BIOS means that it's more than likely, or not BIOS, but the fact that it doesn't even show him the Apple screen means that it's probably not a hard drive issue, because even a hard drive issue will at least show you that. Or at least show you something. Well, it may not show you the Apple screen if his hard drive is out, but his hard drive is soldered to the motherboard. But something would happen. His power would come on. His screen would say something. So it worries me that it may just be his screen or his motherboard or CPU. And if it's screen, motherboard, or CPU, it's game over anyway. If it's hard drive, it's game over because it's soldered to the motherboard. But you can at least try an external hard drive. But it doesn't matter because he can't see the screen. So it's like, okay, well, you know, and then they were talking about draining the battery, and I was like, okay, well, yeah, you could try to drain the battery and put it in a cold boot. So the reason why people drain batteries is to give it a cold boot. But at the same time, it's like, okay, you drain the battery to give it a cold boot and see if that will resolve the issue. But the fact that you have a black screen is, it doesn't look too well. But sound is good. It's just that sound for him doesn't matter much because it's a Mac. If it was sound, okay, let's switch it and say if it was Windows. If it's Windows and it boots and you get sound, but you have no picture or anything like that, and then, okay, the next thing I would say would be try to boot with an HDMI. Oh, shit. Yeah, we could probably tell him to do that. We can tell him to do that. Also, plug in a second monitor if you have one. That's sad, Anthony. How long did it take you to get that conclusion? 10 minutes? I was running my mouth for 8 minutes, and I could have just told him to use a second monitor. Plug in a second monitor if you have one and see if that gives you a picture. I don't even think anyone else said that either. Damn. Oh, that's so slow. How long have we been talking to him? If I have, how many posts do I have? 1. Okay. So I'm over a day behind on that. That's sad. To come to that conclusion, I should have 1, 2. That's actually longer than 2 days. Okay. So yeah, 3 days. So it's 3 days worth of content and me talking to him. I should have also plug in a second monitor and see if you have one and see if it gives you a picture. Yeah. Actually, you know what? Let me take it off of this because this is, let me do this. Cut, save. That's just us talking. Let me do this. Paste. There we go. Do that. Yeah, that's sad. It shouldn't take me that long to come to that conclusion. But yeah, if it's a bad monitor, then hook up a second monitor. That at least gives them some hope. And but if the second monitor also doesn't have a picture, that's not a whole lot you can tell them. But because he has sound, I think that's the only thing that you can do at that point when we're dealing with Macs. Because if he has sound, that means that it's trying at least. So hook up an HDMI to see if the monitor is just dead. Because I know people that have had Macs with a dead monitor and still be able to do everything they normally do. They just have it hooked up to an HDMI to another TV and everything is hunky-dory. So it may be one of those kind of situations where you may have a dead monitor from this. You know, but I remember when he was showing us the picture, I don't remember it actually giving sound. Like, he never had sound. I could have sworn. Chat. Let's hear this. Fuck. How did I miss that? God, to be more careful. Second monitor. Now I'm mad at myself that I... Oh. Dang! How did I miss that? Oh, good God, Anthony, you're better than that. Second monitor. He does have a picture. He just can't see it. You heard the sound? That's the sound of the Apple logo. So if it gives him the sound of the Apple logo, that means it's booting. So yeah, that's his problem. He needs a second monitor. Yeah. I went back. Well, I didn't do anything. We went back over your video and heard the sound. That is the sound of the Apple logo. You just may have a dead screen, which isn't that big of a deal. I know plenty of people that use their Macs perfectly fine with a perfectly fine with a second screen. Yeah, that's all it is, man. That's exactly what that is. For him to give him that sound, that means he got to the Apple logo. So if he got to the Apple logo, it really is up. He just said he can't see his screen, so he doesn't know. So because I mean it's quiet, right? So he doesn't know, and he can't see his screen. So that's all that's going on here. Crap. Let me stop because if not, I'm gonna keep beating myself up that it took me 2-3 days to diagnose this issue when I could have figured it out if I had turned on my headset and we listened to it in chat. That us listening to it is what solved it. Because I'd never listened to it, I just watched it. But if I listened to the audio, I would have heard that sound and had known that he was actually at the Apple logo. He's at the Apple logo. He just doesn't know his computer's freaking on because he can't see the screen. But the computer is on. So yeah. No, he doesn't have that's not it. It's his monitor. Yeah, nobody said it yet either. Damn. 2 days, man. 2 days. I could have fixed that in 2 minutes. But whatever. All right, mashed potato man. I'm so sorry. I'll get better, I promise. Damn. That hurts my soul. But okay, we'll move on because if not, I'm just gonna beat myself up. All right, so this is from Additional Big 9780. Additional Big writes, GTX 1050 Ti lagging in Fortnite. I have a GTX 1050 Ti, bought some years ago, and I noticed it's lagging a lot lately. I didn't play games for some time, but now I tried playing Fortnite or Forza Horizon 5, and they both lag a lot, even on low settings, reaching 20 to 30 FPS. My CPU is an i5 7600, 16 gigs of RAM, and an M.2 SSD. What's wrong? Is my GTX 1050 Ti really that bad for today's games? It's not good. It's not great. I would say the better question is what resolution are you trying to play at? Is that all we want to say on that? 20 to 30 FPS. Also, is VSync. Well, he may actually need VSync because he has a 1050 Ti. And he said he was on low settings, right? Even on low settings, reaching max 20 to 30 FPS. 7600 isn't bad at all. But if he's at 1080p, then the 7600 is actually being utilized more than the GPU is. So, but a 1050 Ti, I mean, the 1050 Ti is like 60 FPS in Fortnite, or maybe even less. 1050 Ti is really low, man. I don't even think I have had a 1050 Ti. I've only had 1060s. So my knowledge is a bit skewed on the 1050 Ti. But the 1060 would have been 60 frames per second easy. So, in Fortnite, in any other game, not so much. Also, no, I'm not gonna say that. Better question, what resolution? Yeah, we'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that because we need to know the resolution before we jump to conclusions. And I don't want to start talking about anything else without knowing that. And I don't want to tell him, try reformatting your PC because probably has malware, crypto miner. If that doesn't work. You know, I would rather him not have helped at all. than say some stupid stuff like that. Try reformatting your PC since it probably has malware, i.e. crypto miner. If that doesn't work, you can try using integrated graphics to try and use that. Oh, God. Well, the integrated graphics is actually a good idea. But the crypto miner and reformatting your PC, why would he think that? Why would he think that? Why would he think that? You can't even use a 1050 Ti. Does a 1050 Ti have 6 gigs of RAM? Let me actually think about that. I don't think it did. No, I'm not about to look it up. But the reason why you can't use it is because the amount of memory that it has isn't enough to actually you'd be used in Ethereum even back then. The 1050 Ti was never used. The 1060 was. The 1066 gig was very useful when it came to mining, but not the 1050 Ti. It's very, very rare. So yeah, even then, like the reformatting your PC, like that's just, why would you say that? But the integrated graphics is a good idea because the 7600 does have integrated graphics. So that's a fair statement. So yeah, I would rather ask him about the resolution and see what he says. Answering this part of it too is good. Reformatting your PC, don't do that. Please don't do that because we will never be able to troubleshoot his issue. I mean, he may actually, I don't think he'll fix it because even if he formatted his PC and it's still slow, I mean, he's still looking at his graphics card. So I just can't stand when people tell me to go with reformatting the PC and that's their first option, man. Come on, man. Give the man a chance. At least try to solve his issue. Okay, another blast from the past. Okay, let me get ready. Okay. Oh, also, let me check something real quick here. Do this and do this. Okay. Do this. Why is it doing that? It's so weird. Okay, I'm just doing something. Pay me no mind. Okay, cool. Let me get back to this. All right, so this is from Do Permit 3861. Looks like we've been going back and forth for a while here. Okay, so he was seeing 100% disk consumption, and whenever I open a game or app, anything 5 minutes in, it starts to lag or stutter or slow down on its own, and I open Task Manager and System Processes, it's taking a huge, what system process? Load of my disk for absolutely no reason. Well, what's on the disk? Is it filled with video files or pictures? Sometimes Windows can error out as it's trying to parse the drive. How big is the drive? Is it a hard drive or SSD? And is it full? Well, I'm not sure which disk you mean, but if you mean C, then I don't really use it for storage much except programs and system files. Its size is 194 gigs and has 75 gigs free. Also an HDD. Okay, so for this one, I would try to download the free version of Malwarebytes and have it scan all drives for issues and go to start command prompt and run a check this on the drive. So check this space //F. I did the check this before, nothing came up, and I just tried Malwarebytes. It found a new viruses, but nothing too big, but it removed them and still the problem persists. Okay. What services are showing to consume the disk? Is it? Can you list the top 5 services that have it pegged at 100%? Okay, well, at least it's already ran Malwarebytes, so we can actually just troubleshoot this issue. I've run into this before, but the reason why I ran into it is because, and that's the reason why I was asking him about video and photo files, is because the reason why I ran into it is because it was trying to format the drive or was trying to read the drive, but it was so much videos and photos on it, it wasn't going properly. So I was thinking that that may be one of his issues and the reason why his drive is not having a good time. But a lot of times whenever you see it pegged at 100%, it usually means that there may be an issue with the drive itself. In which case you may have to wipe it. But we'll get to that when we get there. All right, Do Permit, keep us posted. All righty, it's 9 o'clock. So I'll take a little bit of break. Let's do because if not, then my head is starting to hurt. We went through like 20 questions. Okay, let's do Overwatch. I want to have a snowball fight. That's how I feel about this right now. I feel like I need a snowball fight. There's just too much content going on now. CES 2023 is out. and that's doing its thing, and then I still got to make videos for it, and then I make gaming videos for it. I still got to catch up on Rick and Morty episode 6. I still got to do. Like, I just need a break. Too much going on. All right, but that's actually a really cool picture. You guys will see right now. If it loads. There we go. That's a pretty cool picture of what's his name, Ramatra. I still have yet to play him. Oh yeah, we're playing something. 8-player free-for-all, Chains of Olympus, Battle for Immortality. What do you gotta do? What? Why you disappear? I'm watching you record. You better not go away. Y'all can still hear me. Yes, you can. Okay, I'm just making sure. All right. Locked heroes. Allows locked heroes. First player to earn 15 kills. Okay, I'm down. You had me at 15 kills. Even though I'm not really much of a DPSer, I think I'll do all right. Sounds like an interesting time, but you know, whatever. Let me make sure I know how to shoot a gun. Let's go with a soldier.
Every soldier needs a cause.
Yeah, let's do this, soldier. I feel like I hear somebody. Okay, that felt weird. Why's my frame rate so weird? Oh, Hog for sure. There's no Anna? Oh, I'm about to destroy this. Well, hopefully. We'll see. This should be interesting, I think. I like this new set. That's clean. And his hook, that's nice. Oh God. I couldn't hook him because the stupid widow was hitting me in the back. Alright, so that's what we're doing. What is he shooting? Why does he have so many of them? What is this special? Hey, why is it so good? This is actually pretty fun. Oh, get wrecked! Oh my God. Her ult is crazy. Man, I'm so far away. Ooh, that's fair. You gonna get it. Man, I'm not about to. Oh God. Why is this special so strong? He knocked me 20 feet in the air. That never happens. Hey. Yeah, you're gonna pay for that. Yo, you're gonna listen to me. Oh. Oh, he had no health left. I'm getting that assist. Oh, that gives you shields is what that does. That's pretty cool. Hey, Farah, we need to talk. Oh, you lucky you did. Oh, God. Oh, God. Stop hitting me with rocks. I'm trying to run for my life. I like his new skill, but it's weird. Armor, 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 and armor. Because I spit hot fire.
No one can
Girl, you ain't bumpy. Why can't I move? Is that what that does? Oh, that's some stupid ability. Yo, what is his ability? No, 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 no. No, 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 no. That's not right. Yo, his ability is crazy. That is the craziest ability I've ever seen. Yo, can't you see it? Don't run now. Don't run now. Oh God, now he has it. Oh, for crying out loud. I'm at 4 and Lucio's at 11. Lucio's abilities are just way too crazy.
No one can survive my.
Get wrecked by the hook, son. Oh, despair. I'm gonna kill this Farah, I promise. If it's the last thing I'll do. Come on. I know what you want to do. Where'd she go? She doesn't want to fight me no more? Oh, God. Oh, God. Of course he ults me. Okay. Ron. You need to chill. Chill, Ron. Rocket to the back. Or the butt. Rocket to the butt. Are you serious? Run, Lord, run. Oh, no. Oh, no. All right, let's do this. I'm only behind by a gazillion. Just from being slow. Yo. Oh, wow. Oh, she can move with that. Hey, girl, what's up? Where'd she go? Oh, God. Run. Everything's on cooldown. Okay, let's do this. Oh, it's over. I'm last place? Wow, that's terrible. Is the GeForce GTX 3060 Ti a good graphics card? Yes, I like it. I have it. It's really good. What do you play at? If you play at, 2K, if you play at 1080p, 2K, it's really good. Especially if you're only looking for like maybe 60 hertz, 75 hertz, 100 hertz, depending on the game. So yeah, it's a pretty good card. I really like it. 3060 Ti is kind of like that middle area where you can still get kind of a smaller card. But yeah, 3060 Ti is really good. I like it. It's a good all-purpose card. That was an interesting. That was interesting. I don't want to play No Limits because it's gonna be crazy. Mirror deathmatch. What does that mean? Earn more kills than the other players. This modus was created in the workshop. Allows locked heroes, mirrored heroes. What does mirrored mean? It means whatever somebody plays, you have to play them? Is that what that means? I'll play. Why not? Oh, and that was I. Yeah, I. 30cc Tie is a pretty good card. I like it a lot. It's very, it's mid to high. So, you know, you can pretty much play any game you want to play. Well, there's no pretty much to it. You can play any game you want to play at a pretty good setting, at medium to high settings, depending on the game. Okay, that's taking too long.
Now traveling.
Okay, let me remember how to play with a DPS, because I haven't done it in forever. Oh god. Ah! Oh no! I can't believe I hit myself with a rocket like a nut. Okay. No. No. Why y'all running from me? No. Get you and Gracie. Anybody care about y'all? Ah! Got to it just in time, too.
Now traveling to Canada. 5, 4, 3,
Oh, I hate Widow.
1. Fight.
Oh, I'm so bad with Widow. Oh, it's 1v1 and we both have to play the same character?
Finally, a world
Oh my god, it's just everybody's playing Widow? Oh, I'm not about to win this. Why can't we play Reaper or somebody? Ugh. Oh god. I'm so bad at this game. I'm so bad at Widow. I never play Widow. Oh my god. Just shoot her. Good god. What are we even doing here? Oh god, you're terrible at Widow. Oh, you're so bad at Widow. Oh.
a worthy opponent.
10 seconds remaining.
Ooh! Took her head off. Hey, okay, that works.
We will
No. Y'all don't know how good I am with Zen. Ooh, almost got him with that last one.
adversity is an opportunity.
Where he at? Where he at? Point me in the direction of a Zenyatta and see what happens. Oh no, he has the high ground. I still got torn up. Y'all don't know how good I am with Zen. Oh, did he just ult? I couldn't even see. He was all in my business. Why you all in my grill? Oh, that was terrible. Can't even fight around a car. Terrible. Oh, God. God, I thought it was
The arrow returns to the quiver.
Oh, it's terrible. Why do they keep picking characters I'm bad against? Oh my god. Oh, so bad. Is it you? Yeah. I already talked. I answered that one. Why am I so bad at this game? Okay, somebody use a slow-moving dragon. I just don't play DPS, man. But DPS happens to be like 90% of the characters. Yeah. Oh god, I'm so dead. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Y'all gave me a healer. Y'all done messed up. I may actually catch up. Where everybody at? Come on. Come on, I'm really far behind. Oh god. Oh god. That was stupid. I'm obviously I haven't had very many Ana versus Ana fights. Because if I did, I would have known not to burn that nade like that. Oh my god, how are you not dead? Oh god. Terrible. Terrible. How often do you fight Ana 1v1? Like it never happens. Here we go with another DPSer I don't play. Alright, come back here, partner. I'm gonna shoot you a couple times. Ugh. Wow, that was bad. That was so bad. Why can't they give me like May or somebody? Ugh. Let's do this. Ugh. How did he stick me? How did he stick me? I just want to know, how did he stick me? That has to be the best stick ever. Who I knew? Oh god. Run! Run! Oh god. Okay, maybe I'm terrible at this because I don't play every character. Oh, you did. I bet I didn't even get that kill. Terrible. Okay, I suck at this game. That's what we've learned. Yeah, that was very easy. Okay, cool. And it did it again. Keeps taking my record away. Oh well, whatever. Whatever. It's time. Let's finish this up. All right. Work. Oh no, my camera. Did it die? Oh, yeah. My camera's battery's dead, so I apologize. We'll just finish up here. Well, it's dying. I tried to charge it, but yeah, it may go out again, but it's fine. We'll just finish up with this. All right, we only got a couple more. I think it'll make it. If I turn it down, it may make it even longer, but yeah, yeah, it should be fine. All right, let's go ahead and go to the next one. All right, this is from Yuda Hariuria. Yudi writes, why is there, let me make sure y'all can hear me. Yeah, why is there a program under apps and features on disk C occupying so much space? And he said, there's a program named Far Cry 5 using 43.5 gigs of disk C. Can only be seen under apps and features on the storage settings menu. Apps and features. When click the option to uninstall or modify are gray. Before it appeared, I had 19 gigs of free space. After it appeared, I had 1.6. Only changes made to my PC today was installing an app called Voice Mod on another disk. Also, obviously, I do not have Far Cry 5 installed on any disk. I once had it years ago. Now the only thing left was save and config files on my games on C disk, which I already deleted. Also, I never installed any game on C disk. Okay. Okay, so he never installed any games. Okay, if you go to where's Far Cry? Well, let me ask you. Well, I guess it depends on if it's Steam or if it's anything else. Okay. When you had Far Cry, what system was it on? Was it Steam or something? If it was Steam, go to your libraries and remove it there by right-clicking the game and hit uninstall. If it may be easier to tell her to install Steam to find the game than it is to tell her how to find the game. Because, I mean, you can tell her to go to C program files and then look for it, or you can tell her to go to Steam and then look for common. Because it can mean, if it's Steam, then it can be under the Steam's directory, or you can install Steam and uninstall it, and that will install Steam and uninstall the game, and that will also get rid of it. But we have Far Cry. What system was it on? Was it on Steam? If it was Steam, go to your libraries and move it there by right-clicking on the game and hit uninstall. Also, you can download a program called Tree Size in order to scan your disk, and it will show you the files and folders, well, the files taking up the most space. I imagine this game will be towards the top. Yeah, that way. So we go about it that way. So basically, you know, download Tree Size because Tree Size can really help. And then also try to figure out what the system was on, because Steam, you know, even though the game may be installed, but Steam, it may be actually installed through Steam. So us telling them to go to program files and whatever Far Cry in order to get to Far Cry to see if it's there, there's no point if it was installed through Steam. So we just got to figure out what system that she tried to install it on. And then also, while we're at it, go ahead and download Tree Size because that can help us find the game that she's looking for. So I'll just go with that. You can also tell them to search the directory, the C drive, just by typing in Far Cry. But I would rather her just go with this Tree Size and let it show her the exact path. Plus, it's small and tiny. Alrighty, Yudi, I hope that helps. That was pretty easy. That was a pretty quick one. All right, how many we got left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, my camera may take me out of this because it has no battery life, but if it does, I'll just leave it off for a second and then turn it back on. But I'm still here. Alrighty. This is from Eelport. Eelport writes, Need help getting better internet. I don't know if any of you have advice, but I have a slight dilemma. I have decent internet throughout my house, but where my room is located, it gets bad. I can't stay on Discord calls and internet randomly drops all the time. I was wondering if getting a second modem would help, but I can't pay for another internet line. Would getting another modem work, or should I do something else? Something else. Something else. Had a decent internet throughout my house, but where my room is located, it gets bad. So I take it you are connected via Wi-Fi. A few things you can do. One is you can get a power line adapter and use that to connect up to the router instead of using Wi-Fi, and and it comes with no monthly payment, LOL. Second, you can try a wireless repeater to extend your range, your Wi-Fi range. Both these items are around the same price, but I'd say the power line adapter would be more stable. Yeah, if you're having a connectivity issue and getting to your internet, the best way to go about it is one, try to get closer. But if you can't get closer, then you can go a wireless repeater, or you can go a power line adapter. It's almost always better to go power line adapter in that situation, because just having a wireless repeater doesn't necessarily mean that your latency won't be high. So I would say just going with the power line adapter in this particular situation is probably the best way to go about it. So Eel, I hope that helps. Oh Lord. Okay. All right. I may abbreviate some of this. This is a lot. All right. So this is from Niram Valdar. Niram writes, i5 12600 KF performance and temps question issue. Hi there. Hi. So I've recently built a new PC, maybe a month ago, maybe a month old at the moment, with an i5 12600 KF inside. I'll list all the other specs at the end of the post. The only important information right now is that my coolers are Noctua NHD15, which is excellent. The black version, which is even more excellent, although that shouldn't matter much. I don't know, it's pretty cool. I have an XMP enabled in BIOS, the basic profile. I've done numerous stress tests to make sure the entire PC is running as it should. I've scored more and less in different ones, but my general performance is not worrying, but it's not as good as it should be from what I've seen. First of all, Cinebench score is almost always lower than what I see on the internet. The average for my CPU being around 17,500, while my score is 17,200 at best. What does that matter? Meaning when I turn off everything and just run Cinebench with no interruptions, still, it's not the big deal. Second, temperatures all in Celsius. My idle temps are around 30, a bit below, a bit above. Depends on if I started the PC or if I've used it for some time already. Thing is, I have most likely the best available air cooler, and it seems to me that my temperatures are too high. What? Compared to many I've seen online. Even for people who overclock their CPUs during Cinebench tests on max load, it goes to 85 at points. And here I know this CPU can withstand up to 100, but mostly I've seen people getting around 60 to 70 at worst. And that 60 is while gaming, when my CPU easily goes to 70 while gaming. So I just want to say so. My idle home temp is around 21 to 23 degrees. Besides, I've benchmarked such games as modded GTA 5 and Assassin's Creed Origin, and I've been on stable 60 to 70 FPS on Origins. So these two things worry me a bit. I'm a bit scared my CPU might be damaged, or that I have not mounting the cooler properly. Worth mentioning, it's sat idle for about 3 weeks since I had my GPU returned on warranty. I've had a couple of worrying issues with it already, such as easy debug lights, not running, simply CPU, blah, blah, blah. If anyone has any similar experience, I'd be grateful. Nah. So Nah, you don't really want to compare yourself to others that detailed in that way. The reason is CPUs have a thing that's called binning. This means the CPU that falls into a particular range gets the model number associated with it. So you just may have a weaker chip. But also, if the CPU was not properly what's it called? If the thermal paste was an issue, you would not be on 30 degrees of anything for very long. You can try to reapply, but honestly, your PC sounds perfectly fine. It's within margin of error for the most part. Yeah, I think he's just overreacting. That's just too much, man. I really just think you're overreacting on that. Okay. Yeah. I think you're fine. Yeah, you can retry the thermal paste, but I don't think it's gonna do you any good. I just think that you just may be overreacting a little bit on that one. So I hope that helps, Nerium. Alrighty, and my camera's still going. Okay, I don't want to jinx it. Let me knock on wood. Chinese plastic laptop, Windows product key. I recently accidentally removed my product key from my pre-built PC with Windows already on it using the slmanager.bbs UPK pack command and can't find it. However, somewhere on my PC, it did say that my product key was linked to my Microsoft account. Correct. But don't know if it's still there after removing it. I need it for a PC build, but I want to know that you can continue without it. To sum it up, I have 3 questions. Can I still retrieve my product key? 1, yes. Without reinstalling Windows? Yes. Just check your Microsoft account. What's your 2? 2, is my product key still linked to my Microsoft account? It should be, unless it was a physical key. 3, if the answer to the question 2 is yes, can I still log into my Microsoft account upon Windows setup and automatically have the product key entered? No. You would have to get the key and enter it in manually. Well, that was pretty straightforward. I don't even have to. I mean, he has very distinct questions. It's not like that person that had like a whole paper, edited that entire paper. He didn't ask not one question. Be like, what do you want me to tell you? I want to know if I'm being paranoid. I don't know, man. I read it with a 3-page essay, and not in no part in that essay did you even ask a question. All right, this is from RDAF_SEMO375I. Wow, good Lord. RDAF writes, my Windows 10 computer makes a disconnect and then reconnect sound repeatedly when my TV connected with HDMI as a second monitor is on standby. And then reconnect sound repeatedly when my TV connected with HDMI as second monitor is on standby. I have a desktop computer with a 1440p primary monitor, and next to it is my TV, which is then connected to my PC with HDMI, so it can act as a second monitor when I'm not watching TV. I just got a new Sony X72K 43-inch 4K TV setup. That's really nice. To replace my old Sony 40-inch 1080p TV. The problem I'm having is that when I turn off the TV, with it still connected to the computer and wait about 10 seconds. The problem I'm having is that when I turn off the TV with it still connected to the computer and wait about 10 seconds, it will disconnect and quickly reconnect to my PC, acting exactly as if I were to pull out the HDMI and plug it back in. This happens repeatedly with about 10-second intervals, and it was never an issue on my previous TV. I should mention everything works as it should when the TV is on, and problems only arise when the TV is switched to standby from the remote. I tried switching HDMI ports on both the TV and my computer and updating my graphics driver RTX 3070, fairly new card with little wear, with no change in behavior. But when I tried to plug the TV into a laptop to try to recreate the problem, it worked flawlessly. This leads me to a dead end where I'm no longer sure what to try. Just to recap here, I tried different HDMI ports on both ends. I updated the graphics driver and lowering the screen resolution on the TV. This could be the incorrect flare, but at this point, I'm still not entirely sure where the problem is. Not exactly sure what you mean. You said, the problem I'm having is that when I turn off the TV, with it still connected to the computer, and wait about 10 seconds, it will disconnect and quickly reconnect to my PC. What? It's off. I'm not quite sure I understand the question. You said your TV disconnects and reconnects when the TV is off. But how is it reconnecting if the TV isn't powered on? Are you saying that it turns itself on when it detects a signal? Originally, I was thinking the TV was powering down the HDMI ports, but that's no point in explaining that to him. It doesn't help him situation. What I was going to say is originally I was thinking that the TV may have some type of a power saving feature, but that's proven to be not true because the laptop doesn't have this problem at all. That's what I was going to say, but he doesn't care. Are you saying that it turns itself off when it detects a signal? I'm not quite sure I understand the question. Your TV disconnects and reconnects when the TV is off, but how is it reconnecting if the TV isn't powered on? Are you saying that it turns itself on when it detects a signal? Makes a disconnect and then a reconnect sound repeatedly when my TV connected with HDMI as the second monitor is on standby. Okay. He tried a laptop and he doesn't have this problem. Are you saying that the TV turned itself off? Yeah, I need more information. Yeah, I need more information. Because I'm not sure what he's trying to say. Like, what exactly is it doing? Oh, I can ask him for a video. Can you upload a video of what you're referring to? That would be sweet. If there was a video, then I can actually figure it out. Because I can't figure it out just from what you told me. That's not enough information to go off of. Are you saying when the TV is off, you hear it go in and out and losing signal? Like, it's off. So why would they give you any type of signal at all? So it's just, I don't know, it's just throwing me for a little bit. Now, there are some TVs that will turn on once it detects a signal. So I'm thinking that's what he's talking about, but I need to verify before I say something like that. Because then we'll go off on a tangent. Alrighty, we'll call this one the last one here because I don't think I have enough battery life to make it. All right, so this is from Dino Director. Dino writes, used RTX 2070, no output but fans and LEDs on. This is a bit of a tricky one. I bought a used MSI 27 Gaming Z and a bigger case to put it in as it won't fit in my current one. Sweet. I don't want to open the case as it's new and I can return it, so I purchased a PCIe 1.1 extension cable to test the used 2070 in my current case. My current GPU RX 580 works fine with or without the extension cable. However, the 2070 has no output even though the fans and LEDs work. I'm trying to diagnose the issue. A car would still boot with an older PCIe version, wouldn't it? I'm assuming I've been sold a faulty card. Any other ideas of how to test it? How would they know you open the case? I would just put it in and see what happens. I would just put it in and see what happens. Also, uninstall the NVIDIA drivers before you get ready to return it. It's hard to say if that card is having an issue with the extension or not. It's hard to say if that card is having an issue with the extension or not. It really varies from card to card. So pop it in to be sure before you so pop it in to be sure, unless it literally says on the receipt that opening the chassis violates its warranty. Well, I mean, obviously it doesn't violate the warranty because you put an extension in, so it does. I mean, I don't think it would. So yeah, I would put it in. I would put it in, bro. I wouldn't use an extension. I just straight up put it in and verify that that's what the problem is, because that's the only way you'll really know for sure. Otherwise, you'll still be wondering. So you got to figure it out at some point. So yeah, just work the issue, man. I think you'll be fine. Alrighty, peeps. I think we'll call it a night. Yeah, we'll call it. Alrighty, guys. It has been a long day. I'm glad we were able to help a whole lot of people. I don't know, we went through how many? That's like 20. Yeah. Remember when I first started doing this, I was doing like 10 to 12. Now we're up to like 20 plus some repeats. So like we got repeat customers and all kind of stuff. We got 40 beat and like 20 other people. I know their names now. So hey, we're making some progress. Alrighty, guys. I will see you guys tomorrow. I got to make some videos tonight. And if you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. If you really like it, I'm going to subscribe. I love you either way. Take care. All the best and bye.